Do you feel like there's a chance to fix the problems that you have with the bill on the floor, since it's going to the floor now? Or?
I think, if anything, we're going to have to try to fix it on the House side and convince senators that the House amendments are beneficial.
So you think the House may have a looser bill than what will pass in the Senate? What are you saying there?
No, I think the House can clean up the ambiguities, like whether or not it only applies to a privately owned car as opposed to one you borrowed or rented, those kinds of issues.
Would you anticipate those would be on the floor, amendments like that would be
Well,
coming?
I would hope they would have done it here, but my understanding is the Lieutenant Governor made it clear to at least his caucus that he didn't want any amendments.
Any amendments until the floor, or any amendments?
Any amendments at all.
So when you talk about possible exemptions, I mean, if those start coming through, do you try to kill the whole thing altogether, or?
Well, we've done that before. If we thought it was a bad bill, I'd rather fix it right than pass a bad one and have to come back and fight that issue, what I would call a technical amendment or technical fix, year after year after.
So in other words, this one is worthy of being killed in its current form, is what you're saying.
Well, I think I want to reflect on that more and see what progress we can make on the House side, but I think it needs a lot of work on the Senate side right now.
And do you believe big businesses in Tennessee that they really would make investment decisions based on this law?
Oh, absolutely not. This is already the law in about 20 states, and nobody's looking at this as a real issue. I mean, and where you go to get the answer to that is we have asked, this bill's been running for about 4 years, and we've asked over and over again, bring us the insurance data to show that there is in fact a risk that you take, that there's an increased cost, an actuarial insurance cost by passing this kind of law. We're doing business in a state that has this kind of law. And in 4 years' time, not a single business has come forward with insurance data to show that their premiums go up. And you know good and well, if the risk goes up, the premium goes up. And there's no evidence of it. Property rights is being misconstrued because you have property rights in your car, personal property. We made it a part of the castle in 2008, so it's part of the castle doctrine. And it's really the question of when you've got two property rights that are intermingled, like adjoining property owners, does one totally trump the other, or does there have to be some blend between the two? And so what you see is, for example, like in East Nashville, where they passed the chicken ordinance, where you can have chickens now in your neighborhoods, but you can only have a limited number of them, so it's not a terrible imposition on your neighbor. This is an issue of, should you have the ability to decide what you keep or possess in your car as long as you legally own it, or do you lose that right merely by driving onto someone else's parking lot?
And your argument just basically is that
you don't lose it.
You don't lose it.
No, if they make that parking lot open and available to public or employee access, and they give up that right to tell you you can't have a weapon in it.